is just 3. When x equal to 10, absolute value of 10 is 10. You pop in 100 is 100. When x is equal to 0, absolute value of 0 is 0. When x is equal to, let's say, minus 3, now the question is that what is the absolute value of minus 3? The absolute value of minus 3 become like this. By this definition, the absolute value of minus 3, it means that x is negative. So it's going to be minus 3. Then the answer become plus 3. You can see now that the absolute value of 3 is also 3. But the absolute value of minus 3 is also 3. So we mean that the absolute value is a machine that takes an input that either if it's negative or positive, but it transforms it into a positive of itself, right? Now, based on this, if we can pop in something like that, we say this is x, let's say this is y, which is the absolute value of x. Then for minus 3, I'm going to get 3. For minus 2, I'm going to get 2. For minus 1, I'm going to get 1. Why is my screen not working? For 0, I'm going to get 0. For 1, I get 1. For 2, I get 2. For 3, I get 3. For half, I get half. For 4, I get 4. So you see, now this is when I pop in 4, the output is 4. Input is 4, output is 4. Input is 3, output is the same thing. Input is 2, output is the same thing. Input is 0, output is the same thing. Input is 1, output is the same thing. Input is minus 1, output is 1. Then I'm going to say, okay, but then this is something that I can sketch very easy. You see, if I'm 0 is 0. If I'm 1 is 1. If I'm 2 is 2. If I'm 3 is 3. Minus 1 is 1. Minus 2 is 2. Minus 3 is 3. So you see, then this gives me the sketch of the absolute value function. I can take it in red color. In red, I want to sketch it in red. So it's not 100%. So this is the one in red is the graph of the y equal to absolute value of x. Great. Now, with this in hand, so you can learn now what we call the I'm going to tell you what we call the horizontal line test. The horizontal line test is actually, in a sense, is the way to use it to test if a function is a function or not, right? So you see, when I draw as earlier on, let me come here. I'm going to repeat what I did earlier on. When I did like this graph, right? And I did also another one is like this. With the horizontal line test, you can let's say take it's just like a ruler. You see, when you are on a paper, I don't have a paper here next to me. When you're on a paper, usually and you have a ruler, it's basically you have a graph there, and then you put a ruler straight, and then you draw a straight line, like we call a horizontal line test. Now the horizontal line test is a way to determine if a function satisfies a certain rule. And that specific rule is called one-to-one. So I'm going to give first the definition of a one-to-one function before I can tell you how to use the horizontal line test. Now a function f. So I'm going to say now definition. I'm not sure if it's definition number 2. I can just say a function f is a one-to-one function. Is a one-to-one function if f of x1 equal to f of x2, it implies that x1 equal to x2. Now in mathematics, something that usually we call position, or something that usually we call logic. And now the question come in. You see, I started by f of x1 equal to f of x2. But if you take f of x1, you baptize it, you take it to the church, and you call it y1. and f of x2 you call it y2. So it's when y1 equal to y2, it gives you that x1 equal to x2. So you see, earlier on I spoke about input. You start from input, you get the output. Input is in the domain, output is in the range. This time around, I did the opposite of to what I was doing from last week. Instead of me starting by the input, I started by the output, something that is in the range, and then I come to the back. I work backward to the to something that is in the input. So if f of x1 is equal to f of x2, it implies that x1 is equal to x2. Now the question come in. Uh, f of x1 is the part of the graph because that is the y value. The y value is the one that helps you to sketch the graph, and that's the reason why the idea of horizontal line test come in. The horizontal line test is basically if you have a graph, let's say you have a graph of this nature, right? Then you can use the horizontal. I think I might use yellow, I don't know, or red. The horizontal line test means that you can draw a line like this, straight, crossing. I can draw, someone can draw in this place, someone can draw it here, another one can draw it here, another one can draw it here. So is a line that for us to test if the value of f in the graph, if we have the same, will it give us the value of x also being the same? So basically that is the question. So which means that once you have the graph, you just sketch a horizontal line, and then the horizontal line, if any horizontal line intersect the graph more than once, let's say it touches the graph, if it touches the graph more than once, that means that the graph does not represent a one-to-one function, right?